Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. Garages are usually dull, dingy, and rather boring places to be. They're also quite annoying, usually because they're a chore to make your way through. You have to spend quite some time circling around before finding a parking space. But some parking garages are better than others, and we've found the top 10 parking garage solutions you must see. Trust me, some of these are pretty cool. Number 10. Michigan Theater, Detroit. In 1976, after years of financial troubles, the Michigan Theater closed down and was meant to be demolished. However, tearing down the structure would have made the nearby buildings quite unstable. So, instead, engineers saved the historic theater and created space for a 3-level parking garage. It is not often that buildings are renovated to become parking garages, so the case with the Michigan Theater is a unique exception. While most modern parking lots are modern design masterpieces and pay homage to the future or are environmentally aware, the Michigan Theater in Detroit is an ode to decay and the beauty you find in it. It is now being utilized for a most useful purpose. What gives the Michigan Theater even more charm is that it's located on the site of what was originally the garage where Henry Ford built his first automobiles. Number 9. Marina City, Chicago, United States. This garage was made famous in the 1979 film The Hunter, in which Steve McQueen played a bounty hunter who was involved in a high-speed car chase up one of the parking spirals. Well, that's one of 2 identical spirals that form the base of the Marina City Towers. These towers are essentially 19 floors of a continuous, spiraling parking garage that holds parking space for 896 vehicles each. You could either potentially forget where you parked your car or get nausea from looking at all the sheer number of cars. Fortunately, the parking complex, which sits below the towers containing offices, shops, and apartments, is valet operated. Architect Bertrand Goldberg designed the complex in 1959, and construction was complete in 1968, and Marina City became the tallest residential building in the world. Number 8. 1111 Lincoln Road Parking Space, Miami. The multi-use space at 1111 Lincoln Road is changing the meaning of the word parking garage. This structure was designed by internationally well-known Swiss architect firm Herzog & de Meuron for $70 million. It opened to the public in 2010, and it was intended to resemble a pedestrian promenade, and so the structure is completely open air with floors of varying heights. Each level of the building incorporates use of natural light and allows for views of Miami skyline. The garage portion can fit over 300 vehicles, but the building also includes winding staircases, a large retail space at the center, event hosting facilities, and an 18,000 square foot penthouse on the top level. The building has become a tourist attraction thanks to its unique design and has been featured in numerous publications. Number 7. Umihotaru Floating Car Park. The Umihotaru Floating Car Park was built on the Kizazaru artificial floating island and is surrounded by 360 degrees of water and stands 5 stories tall, with the first 3 occupied by parking and the upper decks occupied by commercial facilities. This parking space is a tourist attraction that offers panoramic views of the city and was designed to look like a cruise ship. It is also a rest stop along the waterline, which is Japan's longest underwater tunnel that took 30 years to complete. Umihotaru provides exceptional views of Tokyo Bay, with numerous shops and restaurants aboard the floating complex. Number 6. Herma Parking Structure, Yongin. The Herma parking structure is one of the most strikingly beautiful structures on our list and was designed by Joho Architecture and opened to the public in 2010. The designers wanted to emphasize the retail facilities on the ground level, and their goal was to make the building a work of art. The exterior walls are made of 600 polycarbonate and 900 stainless steel panels, giving the building a glimmering sheen that is set off beautifully by the city lights. One end of the building comes together to a sharper point, rather than the dull rectangle of normal lots. The interior is full of interesting angles and shapes as well, and offers a full view of the city through the swooping openings in the building's outer shell. Number 5. Parking Carousel, Tokyo, Japan. The idea of a parking carousel has already been shown in movies, and the parking carousels of Tokyo are very much real. Just like with a Ferris wheel, the idea is simple. You drive into what appears to be a single garage, and after you exit, the car is hoisted away on a carousel and stored in a vertical tower. It may seem too far-fetched, but when space is at a premium and you live in a country as space-challenged as Japan, garages have to be built vertically. These carousel parking garages store cars in tall, narrow stacks and eradicate the need for on- and off-ramp infrastructure. Number 4. Parc des Célestins, Lyon, France. Being an underground car park, the main challenge for this design was to get light into the structure. The Parc des Célestins in Lyon, France hopes to change the thought that parking structures are dull, lifeless places that are all too often dark and dingy. The 7-story structure boasts a cylindrical air shaft at its core, at the bottom of which is a giant rotating mirror. As the mirror rotates, it reflects light throughout the structure and creates glittering patterns all along the walls of the shaft. The parking facility relies on the light cast by the mirror as it exits entirely underground below the Place des Célestins. Number 3. Automated Parking, Dubai. Dubai was bound to have a place on this list, as it has a habit of doing the most. For a city that boasts a chain of private man-made islands arranged in the shape of a palm, it is equally ostentatious and innovative with its parking structures. A lot like the parking carousels of Tokyo, automated parking setups found throughout Dubai present a unique way of solving the issue of not enough parking spaces in a place filled with luxury cars. Over here, you drive into a single parking space in a garage, but instead of vehicles being cycled vertically, they're carried away by robotic arms that then stow them in secured massive stacks, hence reducing the time you would have to search for a parking space, along with reducing the space needed for parking lots, and reducing emissions as well that would have damaged the environment had you roamed around a lot looking for an open space. There's also no risk of damage due to not paying attention. This is currently the world's largest robotic parking garage and can handle 250 cars per hour. The automation makes it easy on the driver and saves space, but it requires a lot of capital from the developer. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it on future videos. Number 2. Autostat Car Towers, Wolfsburg. The picture that you see displayed before you is that of the inside of the Autostat car towers in Wolfsburg, Germany. Imagine walking up to a machine, and a little while later, a brand new 0-meter car is delivered out the front of it. This is exactly what this tower does. The Autostat is part of Volkswagen's Wolfsburg production plant and is a museum dedicated to the automobile and its production. This futuristic showroom and garage isn't just your typical car park. It has 2 massive glass-lined cylinders that serve as car storage units for the Wolfsburg plant. These towers are fully automated and can hold 400 vehicles each. These vehicles are then picked up by electronic lifts and placed in their own individual stall, where they will wait 24 hours before being delivered to a customer. Here, they can spend an entire day enjoying the automotive theme park, car museum, driving courses, and factory tours across the 20-story silos. A large observation deck also provides scenic views of the factory, town, and surrounding countryside. Before heading out, they can even indulge in a sumptuous meal prepared by a 3 Michelin star restaurant. Now that is truly the epitome of luxury. Number 1. The Cree House. What happens when you mix a love of sports cars and incredible talent for Japanese architecture and design? I'll tell you, a car fanatic's dream house. The Cree House by Takuya Tsushida is a masterpiece. It's a modern home in an elegant Japanese minimalist design with a bright and spacious interior. Now, you may be wondering why it's a part of this list. Well, it's because he took on the challenge of designing a home that not only had a 9-car garage, but was also able to display one of the cars in the living room. And all of this needed to fit on a 2,000 square foot plot. But more than just storing the cars in an underground car park, there's a mechanical platform that lets the owner switch out one luxury car for another equally luxurious car. The platform can even lift one vehicle at a time to the living area, so their beloved sports cars can be in full display. Due to the space limitations, Takuya built the garage as the ground floor and placed a modular living area on top of it. Well, that concludes our list of the top 10 parking garage solutions you must see. Let us know in the comment section below which one of these was the coolest and which others we should have included in the list. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon.